So are you an experienced real estate investor? Maybe you completed at least one real estate transaction, flip or wholesale, or you have a rental, but you're kind of feeling stuck and you're considering multifamily real estate as a potential solution, but maybe you think that apartments are only for people who have maybe done dozens of real estate transactions over 10 years and have a lot of savings to be able to deploy. And you don't think that's you. And so if that's you right now, then I want to talk with you because, well, frankly, you've been lied to. In today's video, I'm going to show you how apartments aren't too advanced for investors like you who've done one or two or three or even a handful of transactions, and how you can do it today by following the 3 R's. So let's get into it. Let's do this. Hey, my name is Michael Blank, and I help people become financially free with real estate. I got started in real estate accidentally. I moved out of a house and did a rental and kind of got the bug a little bit. And then I started flipping some houses a little bit, here and there, 1 or 2. And then more in 2013, 14, I started flipping it like 3 dozen over about a 3-year period. I got really serious into it. I realized that my single family house investing wasn't scalable. For example, the house flips aren't very passive, right? So if I wasn't buying houses and I wasn't fixing and selling and I wasn't making money, that was very active. Also, when I sold it, there was no residual. Like, for example, if someone sells you life insurance or any kind of insurance, there's a residual even after the transaction. With single family houses, I don't have that. So that kind of sucked, right? Because Robert Kiyosaki in his book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, talks about passive income. And I was scratching my head going, I'm not getting the passive income. Like, well, maybe I'll just scale up a portfolio of single family houses like I had one before. But if I wanted $10,000 a month in passive income and I can get each house to cash flow $200, which is a tall order, I would need 50 houses. And I just did 3 dozen. So I was like, man, this is not scalable. That's a lot of work. I was stuck. Maybe like you're feeling about it right now. I accidentally got into a 12 unit. I got it from one of my wholesalers and I had limiting beliefs. I was like, man, I don't have the experience. I've never bought a 12 unit before. Because I got it from a wholesaler, it was kind of accidental. When I thought about it for a second, I was like, well, if I do this deal, which I didn't feel like it was a strategy. How am I going to find more deals? The brokers won't take me seriously if I do call on them. The financials are too complicated. I don't know how to raise the capital. And I certainly don't want to beg my friends and family, right? Maybe in a similar boat right now, right? You're kind of struggling with how do I scale my real estate investing experience? And let's talk about apartments. You're like, yeah, Michael, it's kind of an advanced strategy, right? So let me get some more years under my belt. Let me save up some money and then I'll roll it into apartments. Now, the cool thing about this apartment space that now we know, because we've been working with people since 2014 when we started educating about how to raise money and buy syndications and things of that nature, you actually don't need an experience. Now, you have some real estate experience. I think that's a definite plus, but you don't have to continue doing single family house investing to get into apartments. Number one, and you don't have to have all the money either, because you're going to be using OPM. You're going to be using other people's money to actually raise that. And it's a matter of simply learning how to do it. And you're not begging them. You're not pitching them. You're being enthusiastic and you're teaching others about an alternative investment class, real estate. You're opening up a sliver of real estate that is not available to the normal investor who normally invests in the stock market, 401k. Now they can own a portion of a building that you've enabled. So you will find that raising capital is actually much easier than you think it might be, a lot easier than you think right now. You might also think that, analyzing these deals, the financials are too complicated. And how do you know what to look for when analyzing deals? Like, you might have all these questions right now. I want to kind of present you with the 3 R's, the solution to this whole problem. Yeah, there's a book called Who Not How. It's a great book, right? Because I am more analytical, right? So I'm more like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And I'm trying to learn the steps and so I can do it. And because I'm a smart guy and engineering background, I can do these things. But I have found over the years, it has not served me. Instead, what has served me more is not answering the how question, but answering the who question. Who can help me get to this thing, right? Not how. Like, for example, let's say you want to lose weight or you want to get more fit, right? And you're asking all the questions, well, how do I do this? How do I work out? How do I do these exercises? How do I eat right? Versus who might be who can help me achieve these goals? I might hire a trainer and a nutritionist. And I've studied this for long periods of time. And the people who have a trainer and nutritionist are much more successful because they've solved the problem with a who, not a how. And the same thing for you as well. So show you the 3 R's, and the who really is a key for that. So the first R is when you go about on this journey, and you might not think you can do it right now, But I want to kind of give you 3 R's to kind of give you hope that you can do these things. You don't have all the details figured out, and that may be true, but pay attention to 3 R's. The first one is you got to follow the right system. Now, there are enough educators out there in the multifamily syndication space where there are multiple systems out there. When I got started in 2011, there was really no system, and I kind of had to reinvent the wheel, which was tedious. Took a long time, and I actually lost money doing it. That is not the case. So find a system, and you want to find a system that is repeatable for a variety of different people on this earth, and it should be very step-by-step. Our system is called the Dealmaker Blueprint. Well, we love it because I created it because I'm an analytical guy. You know, our system is what should you do week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. But there are others out there, I'm sure. Ours, of course, being the best one. But be that as it may, follow the right system. Don't reinvent the wheel, okay? That's unnecessary. It's going to cost you time and money. Number 2 is get the right support. That's the second R. Get the right support. And this is don't yourself, right? Build a team around you. On your team is going to be a property manager, a lender, an attorney. Okay, that's going to be your team. And then a support group around you. Right? Because if you're in real estate right now, how many buddies do you have that are in real estate, right? Especially if you go in the apartment world, which the world gets much smaller, your friends and family might be looking at you like, hey, you're kind of a crazy person. And you listen to it long enough, and you might be like, well, shoot, yeah, you're right. You start to believe it, and that's bad. So how do you find this peer group? And you find it at events and conferences and online communities. Find those 5, 6 people around you, and maybe get on Zoom every month and check in on each other, support each other. And the third kind of support is, so we got community support, is kind of your expert advisors and mentors and coaches, people who have done what you want to do. Why don't you try to align yourself with someone who's done what you want to do? Someone maybe who's bought an apartment building, someone who's maybe even become financially free with apartments. How can you align yourself with that kind of person? So get the right kind of support. And then the third is join the right network. Why do you need a network? Okay, this is very different from the single family house world. Which is basically, it's you finding brokers, maybe you got a hard money lender and a contractor, okay? In multifamily syndications, it's all about partnerships, joint ventures. So for example, if you're out there looking for deals, I call you the deal finder. And then you're probably lacking capital. You're like, oh man, I got this deal, I'm really good I'm hustling, I don't have the capital. There's your counterpart that I lovingly call the capital raiser. These are people who have access to money, and those joint ventures work magically. Now, if you're a high net worth individual, maybe you've actually invested in some syndications, or maybe you're a doctor or whatever, you're a high income earner, and you really like this idea of building up general partnership equity in multifamily syndications, and maybe you might invest, passively here and there. But what happens is you naturally gravitate towards becoming a capital raiser. Now, you still need to get educated and follow. You need to know about the investment class, seem credible to your investors. Okay, but you're going to be more the capital raiser, and the thought or even the sight of a spreadsheet makes you break out in a cold sweat. You know who I'm talking about. Then you're more like a capital raiser, and your biggest problem is deals. I need deals. This is why the deal raiser and the capital raiser, the deal finder and the capital raiser work so well together, and this is why joint ventures are so important. This is why the network is important. You need to tap into the right ecosystem so you have access to deals, capital, and partner. So that's it in summary, the 3 R's. And what I'm trying to tell you right now, you may have heard about apartment buildings because you've heard this is your way out. This is your ticket out of the single family house investing, quandary you're in. This is the way out, but you don't believe you can do it. And I'm trying to talk to you right now. Yes, you can. We've helped hundreds of people do their first deal with apartment buildings. Most of them did not believe they could do it. Somehow we can convince them anyway. I'm trying to at least open your mind to it. A great next step right now is to check out my Apartments 101 video training class. It's totally free. Just go ahead and click on that link, just opt in and just watch all 4 videos. I really want to show you how it's possible. And I go deep on how you can get more experience, how you build your team, how you can raise capital, and some of those 3 R's we talked about, why those are so important and how to go about doing it. So watch all 4 of those videos. Keep an open mind. I think it's going to be the most important training that you'll watch all year. I certainly hope so. I hope I was able to help you kind of get your real estate strategy to the next level so that you can, in fact, become financially free with real estate. And here's the truth. If you follow apartments, it's very likely that if you follow the 3 R's I just outlined, that you will become financially free in the next 12 to 18 months. That's how powerful this vehicle is. Catch you next time.